Okay. Roy Coston, welcome to Rock Eyes. And, back in 2004 was our first, really, our beginning year. Yeah, our beginning year of Rock Eyes. And you sent us your LoveBone CD. Was that the first release from LoveBone?
Yes, that was the first release.
Right. And that got 4 out of 5 stars. So,
Yeah.
Eventually we dropped the stars and we just did the review because, it was a lot easier, to do it that way, instead of like giving a bad mark, just do the review and no more stars, So, that got 4 out of 5 stars on Rock Eyes. I compared the CD. Yep. I compared the CD between Poison and Firehouse.
Right. Yep.
Right?
I remember. Yes.
So when you get a review like that, what's the feeling like?
We'll take it. Any good, bad. You couldn't believe all the stuff that we've heard over the years.
Right.
Love been together for 22 years this year now. Even though we don't play a lot, we go out and just play all, that genre of music. And
Right.
actually the name LoveBone came from a Poison song.
Right.
I hate every bone in your body but mine. Well, CC, DeVille's song,
Right.
but he said Poison, so that's where the name came from. But that's great,
Yeah.
Poison, Firehouse, Bullet Boys, all that stuff. Heavy Bones, Cats and Boots, you name it, it's all there. It's all good. We're happy.
When you went in to record that CD, you did 5 tracks. Is that what you were planning for? 5 tracks or more?
Yes, it was 5 tracks. But also before that, something happened with the studio. We went in there and recorded. We started recording and something happened with the machine. So we had to go back in there and record it.
Right.
God, you're jogging my memory. I know I'm trying to think about this stuff. The first thing to go at my age is your mind.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
so,
we go back there and record all that. And in our area, they play a lot of classic rock.
right.
So we came up with, let's take a classic rock song in our area and try to get some airplay with it. And that's where that song, the Bob Seger song, came up.
Right.
Sunshine Baby.
Right. Yeah. Wow. After that, what happened after that? Did you record more LoveBone or that was it?
There's a couple of videos out there of the song Bone.
Uh-huh.
God, see, you're jogging my memory. I thought I had this stuff all prepared, and now we're live. It's like, yes, we did a live video of Bone, and since then we've been on many releases.
Right.
We have a song on this
from
Mercedes Records. The song Bone is on that. I have a couple other things here to get to with different bands and variations. Jesse DeLalo, our friend from Texas, put us on a bunch of compilations with I Can't Drink You Off My Mind, Inside Out. We have a song on Harris Records by 7. I think Bone is on that.
Right.
I think Inside Out is on this.
Okay, cool.
That's
cool.
Mercedes Records. And then we tried to sign a deal with Retrospect Records. But I'll be nice about that, and we'll just leave it as that.
Right.
Because it didn't do well. And they have stuff posted, but that's a long story.
Yeah.
Leave it as that.
Yeah. I think Tom at Paris is still putting out music. I'm not positive.
But,
yes.
He is. Okay. I talked to him the other day, and I still keeping connections with Tom. I was in a band called Four Large Men before I was in love. And back in, I met Tom in Hollywood, 1994, when I was helping out Raven.
Right.
And I have a called Sweet Jezebel on this release with Tom from Paris.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
So
Cool. Tom's a good guy.
Tom
Yeah.
is a very, and he's done a lot of stuff over the years for us.
Right.
And he's
Right.
one of the true independent guys that likes to, help the
Yeah.
smaller band.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I don't know, and I don't want to get into the retrospect stuff. So, you know, I don't want to, step on feet or nothing like that. So we'll just
It,
skip over that one.
didn't end well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just for me, for many bands.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Wow. What's the latest stuff that you released? Six strings?
The latest stuff that I have released myself is Six String Sermon, Is It Now Yet, and Railroad Angels. Because I
Uh-huh.
wanted to put some instrumental stuff, something different that I've always wanted to do.
Right.
So that came out a couple of years ago. And actually, to coincide with that, you're the first one to hear this. I am putting out an guitar instructional book at the end of the month through Amazon Publishing. And it has a couple of those songs in them written out. So that
Cool.
way you want to learn a lead progression, it's all written out in the book.
Cool. That's cool. That'll go
So
over
you
well.
an exclusive.
Right. Cool. Cool. Now you played with a lot of major artists. Did you learn anything from them people, or which guys did you get along well with?
My rock and roll mentors are John and Mark Gallagher from Raven,
Uh-huh.
and Dave DeFay from Virgin Steel.
Right. Yeah.
They are go-to guys. I can call them up right now and say, hey, can you help me with this? What should I do with this? That way. And speaking of Raven, here you go.
Uh-huh. Cool.
This record was recorded in my hometown.
Wow.
And how they got that was, I know we're totally off the subject here. I'm throwing you.
It's okay. It's okay.
They're friends of mine, and John recorded a 4-song demo on a band called Ardent that I was in.
Right.
So it was natural progression. After we were in the studio, they were looking for a place to record. They went into Utica, New York, and recorded Nothing Exceeds Like Excess. Just a natural.
Wow. Cool, cool, cool. Is there any bands, like newer bands that are impressing you?
There's a lot of, I want to see that next Led Zeppelin. I want to see that next AC/DC. I do a lot of teaching nowadays instead of playing.
Right.
And got some really good kids, and I'm hoping they're going to be that next step, which leads us to a group called Wicked.
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping that they will take things to the next level because we need a younger generation of rockers. So I'm hoping that will help that mass.
Yeah, cool, cool. I never heard them.
I know the drummer.
Yeah, personally, right?
He kind of looks like.
Yeah, no wonder why he's your son, So, what's your feeling about them going out on the road? Mainly they were like a East Coast band. Now I can see they're playing California. They're in their like minivan or whatever they're going out in. That got to be kind of tough these days, and you never know what kind of people are going to show up.
True. We're very proud of the fact that he is going on tour, and of course he has Uncle John and Uncle Mark from Raven, help him, and which we're okay with because they did evolve in the music wise. I think they're still a rock band, but they got a little bit of pop. But I think they're a good crossover band because they deliver live to be on the same bill as Raven.
Right.
So they're, my dream is always to play, the Whiskey a Go Go and some of those other places. And he's doing that now, supporting Raven and helping and doing all that. So we're very proud of that aspect, You know, he's doing very well in
Good.
Wicked.
When they go out on tour, do you give them a little bit of do's and don'ts?
Oh, of course.
Tell me some.
You know, I remember sleeping in the back of the equipment truck, many, you know, helping like Raven out, nothing exceeds excess tour, going from like, I think it was Roanoke, Virginia to Memphis, Tennessee, you know, no sleep, you know, going through these shows. So yeah, I've been giving them a lot of stuff, but the technology is there. So they're playing a little bit of smarter. They're saving money by taking showers at your, you know, gyms and things such. So yeah, and because they like to weight lift, so they're doing a Planet Fitness. You know, you know, taking showers and sleep their RVs there. So they're doing it a little bit better than what we did back then.
Right. Wow. Is he calling you and telling you he's getting tired of the same food every day?
He hasn't really said too much about that because I gave him many ideas on how to deal with all that too.
Right.
But he has called up. The other side of that is I need money.
Oh yeah.
You know, Las Vegas, I need money.
Yeah. That's kids. You know, everybody got that too. You know, so,
side, yeah.
So when you used to go on tour, how was that too? Was it kind of like comparable to what your son's going through?
No, it's in some aspects. You have to remember when I was growing up playing, we were playing a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, 3 sets a night, 4 sets a night, 5 sets a night. We would start at 10, end at 3, you know, pack up because you had a huge 24-foot rider full of gear.
Right.
And then home at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning, you know. So things are a little bit different now because, you know, the technology where, you know, the PA system is at the venue or they have a drum set or the backline is provided. So it's a little bit different.
Cool. Recently, Gene Simmons made a quote saying the music industry's over with and stuff like that. He says, "Don't go with a record label anymore, or because you're not going to make any money. They're going to make all the money for you."
You're cutting out.
Am I okay? You there?
Yeah, now can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. What do you think about that? Simmons saying, "Don't go with a record company anymore."
If you look at Wicked aspects, they were on Sony, you know, at an 18th month deal and they got dropped. You know, the record company really didn't do anything. Now they have an independent record and all these doors are opening. So there is your, I guess, answer in a long form. Depends on who you are and what they offer.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of independent artists that are doing fine. But I also have friends here, such as say like Dave DeFay from Virgin Steel, who probably has a tough time here, but he sells out like stadiums and the huge festivals and headlines all that overseas. You know?
True.
We're in Man of War territory, you know. Live like 45 minutes from me. Again, so there you go. If they played a club here, it'd be around here. The
John
would go, but yet they go line and things. So it goes both ways.
What do you feel about vinyl making a resurgence?
I have tons of vinyl, so I'm happy to see that. Not too particularly liking the price of that.
Yeah.
I am very happy with the vinyl. And I'll back.
Yeah. Is there any comparison from disc to vinyl in sound?
To me, it's better because you're putting a physical needle on that record to get that sound, where a compact disc, it's like, you know, the laser's reading it. So yes, that physical contact, to me, there is a difference.
Right. Are you planning to release any kind of material coming up?
Well, I'm waiting to see what we're going to do with LoveBone. We tested the waters again because we're sitting on a boatload of material.
Right.
So we just released Blame It on the 80s, and that is out on Spotify and Deezer. I'm just waiting for it to get released on like Amazon and all the other digital platforms.
Right.
So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that. We tested the waters with this, and because that's an old song that we redid. We have a new drummer,
Uh-huh.
Ian Evans. So in the line of Skid Row having a 27-year-old singer, Great White having a 27-year-old singer, we're a three-piece, so we needed a 27-year-old drummer to kick our ass.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's cool. That's cool.
So that's how that comes. And has a home studio. So we've been working on new material. So we're waiting to see what's really going to happen and how this song goes first.
Right. Right. Do you feel that you're going to put it out independently, or are you going to go with another label?
Right now, we put it out independently. I do have a friend that had just started a label, and I need to mix and release there's a Four Large Men 2 that is going to come out, and I want to sit down with Ian and do that, the drummer for LoveBone, and we're going to put that out through a friend of mine's label, and we're going to stick with that independently. Maybe that will happen, but it's hard to say,
Right. Cool. Cool. Now, when you go ahead. When you go to pick out a new guitar, what do you look for?
Well, okay, so here we go. As we age and get older, things don't work, properly. Your hands,
Yeah.
everything slows down a bit. I have a great doctor. I have a disease called sarcoidosis. So
Okay.
have fans look that up.
Right.
It's in the family of like lupus
Okay.
and that autoimmune deficiency.
Right.
So when I see my specialist, like it's in my lungs for starters. Right. I have emphysema, even though I have never smoked anything in my life.
Right.
It is in my kidneys, and my kidneys are working at 39%.
Right. Wow.
So with all your ailments, your hands, I have arthritis in my hands and this and that, try to take, natural medication and all that.
Right.
As I get older, I'm finding out I've been using Dean guitars lately.
Right.
I'm not endorsed by Dean, but I've been using Dean guitars, and they're much easier to use on my hands.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
So
cool.
I've been keeping my eye out on Dean's.
Cool. 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 Do you have any shows you'd like to plan ahead of time before going out?
I have nothing planned at this moment, but I have lots of calls
Uh-huh.
to make, especially after this. Our good friend Bob D from Petra called me, and we're trying to book some shows up this way, and I will be his guitar player in his new project.
Cool. Cool. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Me and him get along really well.
Yep. I talked to him yesterday, matter of fact. So he says hello. And I have I'm working with Ronny Munroe from or Siberian Orchestra Church. He's my buddy. So if he needs a guitar player up this way, he'll call me.
Right.
And Joe Ellis, Cats and Boots, I've done some demo work for him in the past. And if things go right, hopefully I can get him going. We could do some shows around here,
Right. Cool. Cool. Do you ever get discouraged in the music business and just want to give it up?
To answer that question truthfully, yes. Because the music scene has changed, especially being around here in central New York. It's hard to do that. But I have found a new word that works with everything. Now that we're older, and of course, you wish you knew things now that you knew years ago. And that thing is the word, it's called balance. So if you have that word balance, you learn to balance work, family, and forget about the past. You can't change anything. Forget about the people that owed you money. Forget about the people that screwed you over. You know, make a new path and forget about all of that, and you'll feel much better. And I have done that. I don't get discouraged anymore. The universe happens for a reason. Doors open, you take advantage of it.
Right.
You know,
Cool,
and that's how this book came about that I wrote. That's going to come out the end of the month. You get discouraged. Winter around here is very cold. You don't want to go outside.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's 5 feet of snow, and it's like, so I wrote a book.
Cool. Cool. Tell me, how hard is it to break into the music industry? Because as of now, I get about 200 emails a day asking for reviews. If I'm getting 200 a day, I just can't see people really wanting to go into music with that kind of, backlog of people.
It's tough. The music business has changed so much. We're old school,
Right.
so we're holding on to those physical CDs and those physical albums and that. But yeah, it's tough. I don't know how to make that call.
Right.
Honestly, I don't. I don't want to discourage anybody's plans from playing. Like I said, I do teach a lot and I see a lot of great players. But I think where I am up here, I support the local music scene around here. I
Right.
run a forum called Madison County Music Scene, and I push the local artists. But it's tough, probably to get into the bigger, like where you're from, like the Tri area,
Right.
like maybe it's better, but up here it's tough. You can't
Right.
do anything more. I
Yeah.
don't know if it really answers your question, but it's the reviews are good, and if you sound good, you know. But I do see kids that want instant gratification. I'm lucky to be born at a time when I got to perfect my craft.
Right.
Now that better and different, they're recording and it's on Facebook and YouTube and
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. What's your feeling about like record labels or whoever, just sending out an email with all their material on there? Like I said, I get maybe 200 a day, and like as me as a reviewer, I say, people are just pushing a button and want me to do reviews and stuff like that instead of sending the physical CD or whatever. Basically, I talked to a record label just recently, and he put out 4 CDs, and he said he sent out CDs and stuff like that, not one review. So like he's losing money by sending out the CDs, but he also could push a button and just send the CDs that way. What's your feelings about that?
I'm old school. The only way that I got all these reviews, I've been in the magazines, I've been in Screamer, Rip magazine. I did all that. I spent the money going down to the post office and sent them a physical CD,
Right.
because I tried to do my homework that way. That's just me. I try, if you have to do it once in a while with an email, I guess you have to. But for me, I would send out a physical CD.
Right. Yeah. It's impressive getting a physical CD, but also they start piling up. So like,
Right, right.
you're saying, the wife is saying, stop, no more, no more. We got no room in the house as it is now. No more
That's
CDs. You
that's
know,
fine.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
you know,
but I like to hold a CD. You can't hold an MP3 or a WAV
no,
file.
exactly, exactly. And
What like
what I like about getting the physical CD, especially if the CD has the lyrics,
right.
that's a big
Yeah,
thing for me.
right. Credits. I like to
Yeah,
read all that recorded. I like to read all of that, the fine print.
right. Yeah, and when I get an email with the music and stuff, there's no credits, there's no lyrics. I got nothing.
Right,
I like to hear what I'm listening to. You know, uh,
right,
I want to read it, and this way I know the story behind the song.
right. No,
Yeah,
I totally agree with you on that. That's why I like that.
right, 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 right.
I agree.
is there any goal that you haven't reached that you'd like to?
Yeah, I want to play the Whiskey a Go Go.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a good place.
Yes, growing up, that's all you heard, play the whiskey, and hang out at the Rainbow. I did all that back in the 80s and into the early 90s, going out there a few times, shopping demos, jumping on the plane, going out there, hitting up record companies and doing all that. But I would actually like to play the Whiskey a Go Go. Another place it just closed is Poughkeepsie, the Chance.
Oh, I know. That's sad. I always went there.
Yeah.
I went to a lot of shows there.
Yeah, I see how you're picking. Oh, you did.
Yeah, it's not close, but it's a great place to see a band.
Yeah.
It was great, So I mean, I saw Ace Frehley there. I saw, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that
we were down there a few times. I have a guitar player friend, Riff, who plays in Tango Down. So we've gone down there a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a good guy too.
Yeah.
I get along good with him too. So
he pops up here once in a while because we live by Oneida Lake, and he comes up here and visits, and we try to catch up.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a guy.
Cool. Did I miss anything that you'd like to talk about before we end?
I'm all over the internet. You can go to www.roycoston.com. Everything that I've done is pretty much on that. All the bands I've been in, a lot of the stuff I have done is on there. I was in DC Strut that came out on Heaven and Hell Records. I was Four Large Men. The first CD is re-released and came out on Heaven and Hell Records. They treated me very well. And I am the last standing man from that lineup. Everybody else has passed away,
Wow.
I tell people support local music. That's where it all starts. Good, bad, or indifferent. They have a t-shirt, a CD, buy it. Even if you don't ever listen to it, buy it.
Right. Right.
Collection. Support the locals.
Well, cool. Just like the LoveBone CD you sent us. We had tons of CDs to pick out what we wanted to do. We had 4 writers, and I went with yours. So it's impressive that we're talking 20 years later.
I know, it's funny, isn't it? Somehow I'm going to re-release it. I just don't know how yet, because we were talking about that. You can find the song Bone, and Can't Drink You Off My Mind, which play live on YouTube. But my youngest daughter goes, I like those songs. You need to get them out there. So I need to do that. Just one, I do way too much. I have a home studio. You do these demos, you get caught up. I have a full-time job,
Right.
We're older now. And it's just funny how that thing called life, catches up with you. Sure. But I'm hoping to at least put that out after 20 years.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
Yes, because they came out like December of right around that time period, because our oldest son passed away in a car accident, and it was dedicated to him in 2004.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And fight every day. I had a stroke,
Wow.
And May of 2005, my left side was paralyzed, a lot of health issues, but here I am talking to you, 20 years later, fight every day,
Yep.
Got a great support system, great wife. So life is good at 60.
Yeah. Cool. Well, congratulations on your career. And it was great talking to you after so long. And, keep up the great work. And would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Support local music. That's where it starts. Go out and see Wicked on the tour. I believe they're playing down near your area. Is it Dingbats?
Okay.
Starlight Ball.
Okay,
Starlight
that's a big place.
Yep, they're down there with Raven. I think in 2 weeks, it's on a Thursday, I believe. Check out the dates, Raven and Wicked.
Cool.
Other than that, you know, support local music. I can't say that enough. Check out my website. I have to thank you and everybody like you that's left doing these interviews.
Cool, cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Cheers.